Hare Krishna, Namaste, Chapter 10, entitled as Vibhuti Yoga. Sloka 22. Vedānāṁ sāma-vedosmi, devānām asmi vāsavaḥ, indriyāṇāṁ manaś cāsmi, bhūtānām asmi cetanā. Vedānām, among the Vedas, Sāma Vedosmi, I am Sāma Veda. Devānām, among the gods, devatas, demigods, vāsavaḥ asmi, I am Indra. Indriyāṇāṁ, among the organs, manaś cāsmi, I am the mind. Bhūtānām, in the living beings, cetanā asmi, I am the quality called consciousness. Having spent enough time on Samanadikaranam, this sloka and all the rest of the slokas should be pretty much easy to understand. So we will not be spending time again on discussing why Krishna is saying, I am Sāma Veda, I am Indra. Rather, we could spend time on understanding why they are special. Now let's see the translation. Of the Vedas, I am Sāma Veda. There are 4 Vedas, Rig, Yajur, Sāma and Atharvana. Sāma Veda is considered to be the special one. Among the demigods, I am Indra. There are so many demigods, but Indra is considered Lord of all the devatas. So it is said, of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind. There are totally 11 senses, and mind is considered to be the chief among the senses. And in the living being, I am the living force, the consciousness. It is because that consciousness is what makes it as a sentient being. Therefore, being special, Krishna says, I am that living force, the consciousness. Now let's go line by line to understand this. Vedānāṁ sāma-vedosmi. There are 4 Vedas. Among these 4 Vedas, Sāma Veda is picked. The reason is because it is very special, because it is greater in volume. It has 1000 branches, shakai, and it is very melodious when recited or when heard. Because of its sweetness and because of its volume, Sāma Veda stands special. Devānām asmi vāsavaḥ. Among the gods, demigods, I am Indra. A question might raise in mind, if Krishna is picking up the greater personality or a special person, then devatas, among devatas, Brahma is also inclusive. Why Krishna did not mention among devatas I am Brahma? Rather he says I am Indra. And also, second question is, why Krishna did not mention devānām asmi Indraha? Rather is using vāsavaḥ, which is of course another name for Indra. But the answer to the first question is in the second question. So let's see the answer for the second question, which will give answer to the first question. Vāsavaḥ means one who resides in Svargaloka, in heaven. Therefore, among those who resides in the heaven, the Indrapatna, Svargaloka, these are different names for the same place, Indra considered to be the head. Therefore Krishna picked Indra. It is only among those who are staying or resides in the heaven, not outside the heaven. If we consider outside the heaven, then of course Brahma has to be included, because Brahma doesn't reside in heaven. He lives in a different planet. Now that should answer the first question. Why Krishna did not include Brahma, who is considered to be greater than Indra? The answer is Krishna is only picking one person out of many who resides in heavenly planet, and that is Indra, whose name is also vāsavaḥ. Next, indriyāṇāṁ manaś cāsmi. Out of all the senses, I am the chief sense called manaś, mind. There are 5 jnānendriyas and there are 5 karmendriyas. The jnānendriyas are eyes, ears, the tongue, nose, and the skin, through which one is able to receive information about the external objects. Karmendriyas are 5. Vāk, that is speech, hasta, hand, pada, legs, payu upastha, the 2 organs used for discharging waste from one's body. So these things makes it 10. Krishna says, indriyāṇāṁ manaś cāsmi. But in this 10, we didn't see manaś, mind. Then how come Krishna says, among the indriyas, I am mind? When Krishna says among the indriyas, we should know the mind is also another sense, which is not present in the 10, but by itself is another sense. Therefore Krishna, when he says among the senses, that is among 11 indriyas, I am the king or chief called mind. There could be another objection that in the 3rd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 42nd Sloka, there Krishna mentions indriyābhyah param manaḥ, that is, mind is higher than senses. So one might say mind is different from senses. Well, that particular sloka is to convey the message which one is stronger among the senses. It has nothing to say that mind is not part of the senses. Krishna himself will confirm in the 13th chapter, 6th sloka, that indriyāṇi dasaikamcha, that 10 senses and mind together is called indriyas. Therefore, whenever we speak about indriyas, the senses, mind is included in that. Now what we have to see is why this mind is greater than other senses. Mind plays a major role as a interface between Atma and the outside world, Atma and the other senses. The jnana, the knowledge from the Atma, travels to the mind. The mind then classifies the received data from the Atma into knowledge of vision, or knowledge of touch, or knowledge of smell, or knowledge of sound, or knowledge of taste, and accordingly it directs that jnana into the respective jnanendriya, that is, to the ears, eyes, tongue, nose, or to skin, that is, the sound to the ears, touch to the skin, smell to the nose, form to the eyes, and taste to the tongue. From there, the jnana reaches to the external object, and then as needed, the karmendriyas get engaged. In other words, the mind, when it receives the knowledge of sound, it doesn't send it to nose. When it receives the knowledge of smell, it doesn't send it to eyes or ears. We can see it does its job very meticulously. Therefore, we can see the mind controls pretty much these indriyas and plays a major role connecting the external object to the internal senses as well as to atma. Therefore, Krishna says indriyāṇāṁ manaś cāsmi. And the last one is bhūtānām asmi cetanā. I am the consciousness in the living being. We should not read or understand this statement, that is bhūtānām asmi cetanā, as among the beings I am the consciousness. That is not the right way of interpretation, because consciousness is not a being. Therefore, it is incorrect to say among the being I am the consciousness. So the correct and fitting interpretation is I am the consciousness of the living entities, because that consciousness is what makes the living entities as sentient being, makes the living entities as a special one. So this is another category or a case of possessive case, meaning the relationship is being highlighted here rather than the member of the group. Previously we saw Adityāṇāṁ aham Vishnuhu. That is, a member of a group is being taken to be special. Whereas here the member is not being picked. Rather, a quality or a possession that outstands among other possession has been picked. It is similar to the previous sloka, Jyotisam Ravir Amsuman. That is, I am the radiant Amshuman Ravihi, sun. There, the Amshuman, which is the exceeding brightness, is what has been mentioned. In other words, whatever makes a particular thing greater, famous, unique, I am that. Among the Adityas, I am Vishnu because he is special in some way, as he is the youngest of all. Among the illuminating lights, it is sun, which is special because of his rays, radiant. Among the nakshatras, it is Chandra because he is head among all the nakshatras, stars. Among the Vedas, it is Sāma Veda because it is melodious and it has many branches. And within the living entities, I am the consciousness because that is what makes it as a living entity. Vedānāṁ sāma-vedosmi, devānām asmi vāsavaḥ, indriyāṇāṁ manaś cāsmi, bhūtānām asmi cetanā. Namaste. Hare Krishna.